Hello, and welcome to another Creepypasta. Today's painting took me about 4 hours. The story that I'm going to be reading is called It Started with a Knock on My Bedroom Window. You can find high quality pictures of the painting on my Instagram, and if you would like to read along with the story, you can find that on my Reddit. I hope you're somewhere safe and comfortable with the lights off and a warm drink. It started with a knock on my bedroom window. It was late, so late it may have been considered early. Everything was painted in that cool blue that prequels the yellow of the sun. I'm startled out of my insomniac daze, turning towards the curtains just to the left of my bed. I walk over silently, quiet as the rest of the world, as another tap causes me to flinch. Probably just a confused lover looking for their Juliet's window. The thought does not calm me. They come in slow, steady threes. I wrench open the blinds and attempt to quell the fear pushing itself against my ribcage. Nothing but the darkness of the night greets me. My anxiety skyrockets as confusion runs circles around my mind. My stomach drops. The window shakes ever so slightly with the soft tap. A moment passes and then I'm going to vomit. My whole body shakes as my heart beats a frantic rhythm against my ribcage. Oddly, I wonder if my bones will bruise after the beating they suffer. Movement flickers at the bottom of my window, and my eyes flash towards it. A crow? I try to recall my 3rd grade teacher. No, it's pretty big, as is its beak. A raven, then, I think. My heart is still beating fast, but now the blood rushes to my cheeks in embarrassment. I'm reminded of the poem by Poe. Just another paranoid insomniac. The world acquired another for its large collection. I take a step or two away from the window, both to grab the notebook I'm scribbling this down in, and so I can observe the bird without fear of startling it. The light from the early morning begins to slowly illuminate the raven more and more. In a couple of minutes, even the smallest of details will be visible. Till then, only its most prominent ones are. The black feathers of the bird remind me of the night that has just passed. Even with the weak light, their magnificent gloss is prominent. The raven lifts its foot and taps my window. I frown. That's not right. It should have used its beak. Claws are right next to my window, and the morning light gets stronger. The details begin to show themselves. The talons are sharp, but there's something else. Birds' feet are weird, but this raven's looks like theirs are made of wood rather than the usual reptilian scales. No, I'm certain. The raven's feet are made of wood. Even the sound of them against the window proves it. The bird moves its foot back next to the other one, and I notice the small puddle it's standing in. The liquid is dark, and for a second I think it might be blood, but it lacks the color. I watch as the sticky liquid rolls down the feathers of the raven's tail into the puddle. Something is wrong. Everything feels like it's been rotated a fraction of a degree off kilter, but not enough to be noticeable. I don't know why I hadn't looked earlier. Maybe a defense mechanism? The human mind attempting to hide from the strangeness. Whatever the reason, I finally look at the eyes of the raven, and there is a raven knocking on my bedroom window. And it is not a raven. Its bead of an eye stares at me. It is not a raven, and it never was one. Perhaps Poe knew all along about the beast's trickery. knew the thing on my windowsill would deceive me. A pause, and it continues to torment me. Branches against the window, how I ever thought it a common bird, escapes me. My breath stops. A hand of terror grips my chest tight, and my lungs cannot move it. I make no sound, and that's why the intake of breath behind me is quite startling. A childhood memory pops into my head, perhaps despite the fear plaguing my body. Predators have eyes on the front of their heads, as it makes it easier to hunt. Prey have eyes on either side of their head to have a better chance of spotting danger. The thing on my window has eyes of prey. I don't even know which a raven is, but I wish I had its eyes so I could see the thing that breathes against my neck. Its warm breath tickles the hairs. Even though I cannot see it, I know it has the eyes of a predator. It's odd. Despite the parallels to Poe's poem, the most obvious one eluded me, despite his helpful attempts to warn me. It is not the raven that haunts me. And that was the creepypasta. I hope you enjoyed. The painting took me about 4 hours, like I mentioned, and I want to talk a little bit both about the painting and the story. The story was obviously inspired by The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe, which you can find online for free. It's an excellent poem and you probably had to read it in your English class, but I would recommend giving it another listen. The painting was inspired by a couple of things. There is a technique in art called chiaroscuro that refers to strong contrasts between light and dark. It was apparently created by Leonardo da Vinci. I really recommend looking at art pieces that feature this technique because they're all absolutely gorgeous. So I tried my own hand at it. The painting itself is rather small, and despite its size, it took me about 3 hours and 57 minutes to paint, which is quite a long time considering how small it is. It's actually a little embarrassing. The creature in the painting, like the creature in the story, has prey eyes. I'm not sure where I learned that, but it is true. I googled it. That is very common amongst prey and predator animals. So I am insinuating that the creature behind the girl in the painting is in fact prey rather than the predator. And those were my inspirations for the story and the painting. I hope you enjoyed watching me paint and listening to one of my stories. If you liked the video, don't forget to like. And if you would like to see more of these, don't forget to subscribe. There's also a playlist where you can watch my other 2 Creepydrastas. You can find me on pretty much every social media platform as Kaylee J. Bye.